Well, good morning. Oh, gotta turn the radio down. Don't want copyright infringement. Today is, I know Diana, I keep forgetting to switch my thing around. She said something about, I don't know why, I forget, but she said you're supposed to turn your garage door opener away. I don't know, I don't understand I guess I just don't get it. But anyway, well, hello. Blah, 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 blah. Today is Saturday, November 10th, and we're on our way to the meeting, and I'm feeling very optimistic that I've lost some weight. Hoping for three pounds. Hoping for 3 pounds. I didn't even want to get on the scale this morning to see. I'm going to wait to be, as my nephew Steve used to say when he was a little boy, apprised. Couldn't say surprised. He always said apprised. So we're still getting snow again today. You know, I live in the Midwest. You should expect it, but it's like, I like a spring, I like a summer, I like a fall, and I like a winter. I don't like when summer goes right into winter. It doesn't, I don't know, it's too early. It's too early for snow. I love snow. I really do. I don't have a problem with it, but not when it's this early. Hope all you people in California are safe with the fires. I'm thinking it's close to Anita. Chit Chat Paddywhack. I don't want to say where she lives in case it's not out there for all the world to know, but I think that her general location, and I don't think she's that far from Gina Pearson, but I'm not sure. But I'm thinking, you know, I'll take the snow over the fires any day. I feel so bad for you in California with, you know, I mean, this seems like one of your seasons. It's like summer and fire. I know, it just, every time we turn around, it seems like we're hearing about fires in California, and it's just, it's sad. All the people losing their homes, and it's just, and then I see the people driving out and with their videos, and I wonder, did they wait too long, or did the fire just come upon them that fast? Because I'm speaking from experience, because fire is scary. It really is, because my house when I was little burnt. I've told this before on my other channel. When I was just before I was, no, it was just after my 10th birthday. Yeah, it was just after my 10th birthday. My sister Mary, who was close to 2 at the time, and Denise, who was crawling, she was probably about 11 months. My father was supposed to be watching us while my mother took a nap. My mother had 6 children, and I was the oldest at 10. So she was taking a nap. And so my father told me to keep an eye on my brothers and sisters. And I really wasn't keeping that close of an eye on them because I was 10. And my mother was a heavy smoker. My mother smoked 3 packs a day. She never had cancer of any kind. And she smoked a non-filtered cigarette. She smoked a cigarette that was called Herbert Tareyton. And there was another cigarette that was Tareyton, which had a filter. And the commercial was, they had the person would have a black eye, and they would say, I would fight for my Tareyton. That was their commercial or whatever. But my mother smoked a non-filtered brand, which was Herbert Tareyton. And whenever I would get sent to the store, whoever was behind the, because back then anybody could buy cigarettes, my mother would send me up to the store to buy the cigarettes. And see, I was defiant even as a child, because we had to cross a busy street. And what I was supposed to do, I know I get off on a trail. Go off on a trail. What I was supposed to do was walk 2 blocks over, cross at the light, and cross the street, and then walk 2 blocks back to the store, which was right across the thing from where I lived. And then I'd have to walk back 2 blocks and come back. No, I used to just dare it and run across the busy street, busy highway. Anyway, and then every time I'd get there, I'd say Herbert Tareyton, and they'd say, is this for your father? And I'd say, no, my mother. And they'd give me the red one, and I'd say, no, I need the blue one. And they go, no, if it's for your mother, you need the red one. And I would go home, and I'd say, they won't give me the blue one. They said you smoked the red one. And my mother would say, you go back and get the blue one. So then I'd have to go back and do it again. So after a while, they just caught on and just did it. But anyway, so my mother was a heavy smoker, and Mary found the matches, and she was in the bathroom she brought Denise into the bathroom. They both went in there. Mary was a toddler. Denise crawled into there, and she was playing with the matches, and my mother had some nightgowns and stuff hanging on the back of the bathroom door, and it caught the things on fire, which the fire then jumped over to the shower curtain and caught the shower curtain. And it just happened to be that my father was going to go to the bathroom, and he went in there, and when he opened up the door, the flames were just like bursting everywhere. And okay, the bumpy ride's coming now. And then my father says, "Holy Christ, the house is on fire, the house is on fire." And that was before there was a song. And so I just happened to look over my shoulder, and I could see the flames just spitting everywhere. And my mother came out, and we ran outside, and my Aunt Rose had lived down the street, so my mother was going to bring us down to see my Aunt Rose to stay there while they went to call the fire department. And my father ran in the house and started carrying all the stuff out that was paid for. There's a fire truck approaching. And so anyway, somebody said to him, he says, "Oh my gosh, is your house on fire?" And my father says, "Hell no, we're having a barbecue." And then afterwards, my mother had brought us into the house, and we had to reach in, the older kids. Now, Denise and Mary don't have any memory of, well, they wouldn't have, they were just top. They might have brought Mary in, because she was old enough that she would have known, but she doesn't remember. But we had to reach into the wall, we had to grab a whole hunk of soot, or, burnt wood, and we had to smell it. And my mother had told us that this is what happens when you play with matches, and this is what happens when your house is on fire. Now we can't live together because we have no place to go. And I remember I had to go live with my cousin who lived in Madison Heights, who was probably maybe 10 years older than me. No, more than 10 years old. She was probably about 20 years older than me. But I went to live with her, and then the little ones, Pat, Mary, and Denise, went with my mom and dad. They stayed at my Aunt Rose's house, and Michael went with my Uncle Warren and Aunt Agnes, and my sister Sue went and lived with my Aunt Marge. And so we lived apart for probably almost 2 months. I had to go to a new school, which I didn't like. And it was just, and it's a memory that I have. And so when Jim and I were first married, he was laying in bed and he lit up a cigarette. And I went, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I went crazy. So he just knew that the rule was that he couldn't smoke in bed. He just knew that. And it's just, and I always smell smoke to this day. I mean, if somebody has a fire outside, I can smell it. And I'll say, "Somebody's having a fire." And Jim will say, "What?" "Oh, you're right." It just puts such a memory in my mind of that. And I don't know if this is a memory that I really truly have, or it's just a false memory, but I do remember that somebody was parked in front of a fire hydrant, and the fire department busted out the windows and put the hose through the car. I have a memory of that. Now, if that's a true memory, I'm not really sure. That's why, when people go back and they get psychoanalyzed and that, and then they have memories and that, and they bring this stuff up, and then they say, "Oh, I remember." I'm thinking, do you really remember that? But I do remember the fire. I do remember putting my hand in the thing, pulling out the smoke, pulling out the wood and smelling it. I remember my father saying that, because I always thought that was so humorous. And it's something my family talks about all the time. I mean, not anymore, but like my aunts and uncles always said, "You remember when Eddie said, 'Hell no, we're having a barbecue'?" So, I mean, I know it really did happen. That part really did happen. But anyway, we're here. Let's go see how I did. I think I did good. I really do think I did good. Once again, I should have listened to all you guys, because you told me I'd have a big loss, and oh my gosh, you were so right. I know, I can't even believe it. Last week, how I couldn't believe that I gained 9.5 pounds. This week, I lost 7.8. So I'm down to 232.3. Look how good I'm doing. Just doing so well. I'm so proud of myself. I am so proud of myself. I worked really hard for that. And I might have even lost a little bit more, but I ate out last night. I mean, I chose pretty well, but the soup was a little salty, but 7.8, I'm really proud. I'm so happy. So now I'm going to go to Kroger's, and I'm only going to buy healthy foods, because I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to track this weekend, And I'm going to follow my plan that I did last weekend. I'm not going to have a gain over the weekend. I'm not going to go crazy. And well, I just love looking at it. It looks so good. Thank you guys for having faith in me. Thank you for your support and your encouragement. I don't think you know how much you helped me, because trust me, you helped me so much. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be as successful as I have been. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, let's keep the momentum going, because I'm determined to have another loss next week. It's not going to be 7 pounds, but I'm going to have a loss, that's for sure. So I started my day with a prayer. I drank 50 ounces of water. I have 23 smart points, 0 for my egg, berries, banana, tea, and water. 3 points for my half of my Lender's bagel. 1 point for a teaspoon of peanut butter, and 3 points for my center cut bacon. 7-point breakfast. I have 16 points left for my dinner. Looking forward to eating this because I'm hungry. Well, I realized I didn't tell you my quote for today. Determination determines your destination. I don't know how that got by me. Well, so far I've made it through another Saturday. Here's my dinner. I'm having a slice of whole wheat sugar-free bread for 3 points, 4 points for an ounce of provolone cheese. I do have honey mustard on there for 0 points. 3 points for 28 grams of the pretzel crisps. They were kind of broken up, so I weighed them. 4 points for 2 cups of my chili. It's the Weight Watchers chili. And 2 points for my 14 ounces of the lemonade light. So I hit it right on the nose. 16 points, 0 points. I still have my 42 weeklies left. Well, my sandwich was more than just provolone cheese. I did have 2 ounces of oven roasted turkey, the boar's head. I did find some at Kroger's, and it was 0 points. So the 0 points for my water, the honey mustard, and the turkey. Well, another successful day. I have decided that I am going to do another 5 perfect days because it worked so well last week. I know a huge amount of my weight loss was due to the fact that I didn't take my medication last week. But that doesn't mean I can't lose at least a pound this week, because I'm going to lose every week. I told you that. The meeting today, what I took away from the meeting today was one of the phrases that the I don't know what they call him now. I always still call her my leader, but what is she, the guide? Coach. She's the coach. She said, you have to ask yourself, are you interested or invested? And that really hit home with me, because everybody's interested in losing weight, but are you invested in yourself enough to say, I'm going to really put my wholehearted effort into this, to losing this weight? And this is the worst time of the year as far as temptations in eating. And even she had said, you know, like, you can still have stuffing, you can still have a piece of pie, you can still have desserts for Thanksgiving. You just have to know to rein it in. But it'd be better if you lost a little bit of weight beforehand, so you have a little bit of a cushion. So that's my plan. I'm going to have a little bit of a cushion, but I'm still planning on having a loss. I keep telling myself that I did it last year, and I know I can do it again. Because last year I was invested. And then really for most of this year, if I'm really honest with myself, I was just interested. I really didn't invest in myself because I really didn't lose a lot of weight this year. I've lost a lot of weight overall, but I'd have to really look to see how much weight I've really lost this year since the beginning of the year. And you know what? I'm going to look right now. Hold on 1 second. Well, I guess I did a little better than I thought. From last year on this date to this year, I lost 21.1 pounds. There's 52 weeks in a year, so a pound a week is 26 pounds. So I was right around a half a pound a week. Whole pound a week would have been better, but a half a pound a week for my age is still pretty good. I'm going to do better, though. I have to do better. I'm going to invest in myself, in my health, and in my future. So stick with me. Let's all invest in ourselves. Let's just not be interested. Let's get investments going. So give this video a like, subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and share if you think somebody might be interested. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow, but definitely on Monday.